Hello everybody, welcome to this instruction video. In this video I'll be showing you part 7 of the Crochet Along Mandala Madness by Helen Shrimpton. Part 7 is this part here, from the purple, the pink and the blue. So these rounds I'll be showing you. The yarn that I'm using is Sun-Kissed by Scheepjes and Cotton 8 by Scheepjes, as well as a 3mm crochet hook. Take you step by step through these rounds. Hope it's a useful video for you. Thank you for watching. Round 47, I have a new color yarn on my hook, and we're going to start in the chain 1 space right at the tip of one of your stars. Of course you've got all these chain 1s, but here you've got the chain 1 that's between two double crochets. We're going to start by making a standing half double crochet in this point space. So that's a standing half double crochet, followed by a chain 1 and a half double crochet in the same space. And this is then of course your new corner made. Just ever so slightly turn my work. I'm going to start by making a back post double crochet on the next stitch, which is of course this post here, that corner double crochet. Going to make a back post double crochet. Just yarn over and then around that post make a back post double crochet. In the chain 1 space, so in that space, going to make a half double crochet. And these 2 stitches you're going to repeat for the next basically 24 times. That's going to bring you all the way up to your next start point. So that's a back post double crochet around the around the posts from the previous round. So back post double crochet, and in this space, chain 1 space, you work a half double crochet. You're going to continue like this and go all the way around, and when you get to your next point, you're going to work the same corner as we've done here. So that means when you get here, you again work a half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet in your next tip. So that's going to be this tip here. So continue like this. You're going to work back post, half double, back post double, half double in the space, back post double, half double in the space, all the way until you get to the tip. That's going to be 24 times. Here you work a half double crochet, chain 1, half double. Go all the way around, and when you get to this first stitch, close with a slip stitch. I'm going to use the same color yarn for the next round, so I'm not going to cut off. Round 48, still have the same color yarn. To take note that you've also worked that last back post double crochet before you close with a slip stitch. So that last back post double crochet before the corner. Going to chain into the corner space with a slip stitch. So I'm just going to move in there with a slip stitch. Chain 1, make a single crochet in this corner space, chain 1 and a second single crochet in the same space. There we go, so that's your new point or corner made. You're now going to come down and work 22 single crochets. So on this edge, it's basically going to bring us to the valley of between the stars. We're now going to work 22 single crochets on this edge downwards. It's going to bring us to the valley between the 2 star points. The first stitch is worked on this half double crochet, so this very first one, and this can be a difficult stitch to get into. You can hardly see the loop there. So here, this is the stitch you want to work in. Now what's easier is to most probably just work another single crochet in this space, and then that is your first single crochet in the first stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, so go 4, you're going to work 22, 5, 2 more, there you go, 21 and 22. And now you've basically almost to the valley of where you between the two stars. You're going to chain 1. You're going to skip 3 stitches. It's going to be 1, 2, 3 stitches, and the next stitch, so it's the 4th stitch, should be the back post double crochet that's right in the center. You see this stitch here is right in the center of your between your two stars, so right here, and that should be your 4th stitch. So you're skipping 1, 2, 3 stitches, and then we're working in that 4th stitch, and we're going to work a treble cluster into this stitch. So to make the treble cluster, yarn over twice, and in that center stitch, insert, pick up a loop, take off 2 loops, and take off 2 loops, and again, twice over, take off 2, take off 2, twice over, take off 2, take off 2. You now have 4 loops on your hook. This is basically a treble 3 together. Yarn over, take them all off. Chain 2, 2, and in the same stitch you're going to work another treble cluster. We're going to work 3 clusters in total into this one stitch. So again, twice over, take off 2, twice over, take 2 off, 3 loops on your hook, twice over, take off 2 loops, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, take them all off. Again, chain 2, and then you're going to work a last treble cluster in here. So it's twice over, 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, and take them all off. Chain 1, and this chain 1 is exactly the same as this chain 1 on this side. So you're now going to skip 3 stitches and then again work 22 single crochets. And the first stitch that you're skipping, I'll just open up, is going to be this stitch here. So don't accidentally forget that stitch. So you've got 1, 2, 3 stitches. So the stitch you're working in is going to be this back post double crochet here. So skip 1, 2, 3, and then this stitch here. And that's going to be the first of 22 single crochets. It's 1, 2, 3. It's number 20, 21, and then 22 is the half double crochet that's making up the corner here. So this is number 22. If you're at this point, you're at 21, for example, you know that you've accidentally not skipped 3 stitches here, but 4. Then you didn't skip that first almost hidden stitch correctly. And now you're at the tip again. So in the chain 1 space, in that space there, you're going to make a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, like so. And this point is exactly the same as this point. So you're going to go again down 22 single crochets, then work these 3 trebles, these trebles 3 together with chain 2s in between, of course also the chain 1 on either side, and then again 22 up. Go like this all the way around. The next round I'll be using a new color yarn. Round 49, new color yarn on my hook. And we're going to start in the chain 1 space of any corner. To find that chain 1 space, just pull your work a little bit apart, and then you'll see here this is the single crochet stitch forming, and then you know just next to it there should be space, like so. You can see there, this is the single crochet, and in that little hole there is the chain 1 space. If it's easier for you, you can mark this chain 1 space with a stitch marker. So in that chain 1 space, so that's the space, because the hole left to it is the single crochet. So in the chain 1 space, make a single crochet. The first one is obviously a standing single crochet, chain 1, and a single crochet in the same stitch. So hook up a stitch marker here if that's easier for you. And single crochet. So that's your new corner or point made. Now going to make a single crochet in the next 20 stitches. It's especially important to not accidentally miss that first one. See how I'm pulling my work, you can see that first stitch there. So I'm going to go in. It's going to be the first single crochet, so that's 1, 2, 3, going to work 20, 4, 18, 19, and then number 20. So now done 20 single crochets, and you should have 3 stitches left before the chain 1 space. See, here's your chain 1 space. You've got 1, 2, 3 stitches left. You're going to skip these 3 stitches. You're going to work in the chain 1 space. You're going to make 5 extended double crochets in that space. So to make an extended double crochet, if this is a new stitch for you, yarn over, insert into the space and pick up a loop. So this is just as though you're making a double crochet. Then yarn over, but only pull through the first loop. So that is the extended bit. This is basically an extra chain 1 that you're doing here. So this is the extended bit. And now finish off your double crochet as normal. So yarn over and take off once, yarn over and take off twice. So that's an extended double crochet. We're going to be making 5 of these in this space. So that was 1 loop, take through 2 loops, take through 2 loops, yarn over and pick up. That's 1, 2 loops, 2 loops, yarn over, take through 1 loop, 2 loops, 2 loops. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 extended doubles, so I need 1 more. Yarn over, 1, 2 loops, 2 loops. So now I've worked 5 extended double crochets in this chain, this first chain 1 space. I'm going to make a front post single crochet around this cluster here. So this is these 3 trebles together that we worked. So a front post single crochet around that cluster, like so. Now I'm going to again make 5 extended double crochets in this next space. So this is your chain 2 space. So yarn over into that space, pick up, then through 1 loop, 2 loops, 2 loops, and again 1, 2, 2. You can see the rhythm here, so it's just the 1 loop, 2 loops, 2 loops, and that first this chain 1 basically is your extended version of the double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need 1 more, and 5. Again, going to do a front post single crochet around this cluster, around cluster, so you're basically tying it together. And now again in the next chain 2 space, work 5 extended double crochets. 2. It's 1, 2. Oops. And 3, yes, and 4, and this is number 5. There we go. So 5 extended double crochets in that chain 2 space, and again a front post single crochet around the cluster, just like we've done on the previous clusters. So you're tying it nice together, so you're getting very sharp clusters here. And now it won't surprise you that you still have one chain 1 space. You're also going to work 5 extended double crochets in this space here. Yes, it's 1, 2, no, that's wrong, it's 2, again, and now keep picking up 2 loops, just the 1 loop, there we go, that's 3, and that's 4, and then that is 5. 5 extended double crochets in this chain 1 space. So you see how you're making that you've made 4 petals, 4 flower petals. And now we're going to move up. Let me just move my work a little bit. I'm going to go up this edge again. So we're going to skip the next 3 stitches, and especially this very first one. Got to really make sure that you see that you're skipping. You see how this cluster is kind of fallen over this first stitch. So in there, that is the first stitch. That one is the one you're skipping. It's going to be 1, 2, 3 stitches skip, and then single crochet in the 4th. You can see how this is basically symmetry to that side. You're going to work 20 single crochets. So this is 1, 2, 3, 18, number 19, and number 20, going to be this last single crochet before the corner space. You're going to go into the chain 1 space, and again I'm pulling this open. You see here the space from the actual single crochet, so and right next to it there is the stitch, the chain 1 space. Punch in your hook a little bit to the right of that single crochet, you'll find the chain 1 space. And in that space you make a single crochet, chain 1, hook up a stitch marker here if that's easier for you, and then another single crochet. And then this tip is exactly the same as this very first one, this one. So you're going to repeat everything we've just done, also on the extended double crochets. Going to repeat that for all your edges. When you get to the beginning, close with a slip stitch on your first standing single crochet. Round 50, new color yarn on my hook, and we're again going to start in the chain 1 corner space. So pull your stitches apart if you don't have a stitch marker in there, and then slightly to the right. See how you're in that chain 1 space. Start with a standing single crochet, chain 1, and then make a second single crochet in the same space. Hook a stitch marker up here if it's going to be hard for you to find that chain 1 space. Now in the next 20 stitches you're going to make a single crochet. Especially be mindful of the first one, that's this one, not to miss it. It's going to be 1, 2, 3 until you've made 20, 4, 5, 19, and then this is number 20. You should have 1 single crochet left as this one before you get to your first series of extended double crochets. We're going to skip this last single crochet. Make a chain 3, so 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to make a back post single crochet around the cluster from round 48. So those are these clusters here, and we're going to make them from the back. So you're going to make a back post single crochet. So you see how I'm going around that cluster from the back to make a single crochet. So that means your chain space is now falling to the back of your work. Chain 3, you're going to do this 3 times. And then around the next cluster, so that's going to be this one here, again a back post single crochet. Chain 3. And again over the next cluster, a back post single crochet. Like so. You see how you have here these 3 chain spaces to the back. Chain 3. And now you're going to come back up to this side here. I'm going to skip, oh wait, my yarn is a little tight. There we go. You're going to skip the first stitch. So this very first single crochet, you're going to skip that stitch, which is exactly the same as on this side basically. You're going to skip that first stitch, and then the next, make the first again of 20 single crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, this is number 18, 19, and then number 20 should be your last stitch. That's number 20 before you get again to the chain 1 space. In the chain 1 space, see that's a chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 1, and a single crochet, like so. And then this point is exactly the same as the first one that we just made. So these 20 single crochets, these chains and back posts, you're going to do all of this until you're all the way around and close with a slip stitch on your first standing single crochet. Round 51. In this round I have the back of my work facing. So if you turn around, you see here's the front with the, point a little forward with the bobbles and everything from the previous part. So you've got the back of your work facing. So with the wrong side facing, and I've put a stitch marker in the chain 1 space because it's a bit easier to see from the front than from the back where that chain 1 space is. And this way I'm just making life a little bit easier for me. I'm going to attach my yarn with a slip stitch. So in that chain 1 space, just going to go next to the stitch marker, and now I'm going to, am I in the same space as the stitch marker? Let me just double check. Yes, I am. Then I'm going to remove the stitch marker and pick up my yarn. There we go. Chain 2, because we're going to make a bobble, and this is a beginning bobble. So chain 2, and then, and what you hear in the background is my cat playing with the Lego of my children. And I have no idea why he does that. So I'm making 1, 2, 3, 4 partial double crochets plus the chain 2. So I now have 5 loops on my hook, yarn over, take them all off. I'm going to make 5 single crochets on the next 5 stitches. You'll note that there, that is your first stitch. You're going to go into that first stitch. Oops, both loops. There you go. That is your first stitch. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets, And now we're going to make a bobble, and this time it's a normal bobble, so we're going to do basically a double crochet 5 together. So 5 first parts of a double crochet, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 1, 2, 3. And you go 6 loops on your hook, yarn over, take them all off. These 5 single crochets and the bobble, going to do this 2 more times. Going to need to do this 3 times in total. So that means I'm going to do 5 single crochets on the next stitch. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now again a bobble. So 5 double crochet together. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on my hook, yarn over, take them all off. Need to do this one more time. So in the next stitch, a single crochet. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets, yarn over, and make the first leg of again 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets, first part, yarn over, take them all off. At this point you should have 3 stitches left. You see them here, 1, 2, 3. If you've got 2 left, you must probably accidentally skipped your first stitch here at the beginning. Or if you've got 4 left, something else happened up here. But most probably your mistake will be up here, because this is an easy place to make a mistake as to which is your first stitch here, right at the point. But if everything went right, you now have 3 stitches left. I'm going to make a single crochet on the next stitch, like so. And we're going to skip these last 2 stitches and work in the chain space. And let me just move my work a little bit. So in this chain 3 space, we're going to work 5 treble crochets. So twice over my yarn, 1, 2, and then in that space work a treble. This is 1 treble, 2, 3, 4, 5 trebles in the same space. And there we go. 5 trebles in that space. We're going to skip the back post single crochet that you have here, so this stitch here we're going to skip, and then in the next chain 3 space, it's going to be this space here, you're going to work 5 double trebles. So do take note, it's a double treble, so that is 1, 2 times over as a treble, 3 times over as a double treble. And then that is 4 times off. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3 times over. I've now done 2. And this is number 3. 4, 1, 2, 3 times over, and this is number 5. You're going to do exactly the same in the next chain 3 space. So we're again skipping that the single crochet here, and in the next space you're also working 5 double trebles. 2, 3 times over. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3 times over. How many have I got now? 3. I need to do 5 here. 3, 4 times off. Yeah, and last time. This is the last double treble. So you've worked 5 double trebles in this space also. You now have one chain 3 space left. That's this one here. And it won't surprise you that you're going to work 5 trebles in this space. So it's basically a mirror image of what's on this side. So 2 times over, and in that space work 5 trebles. So 1, 2, 3, this is 4, and then this is 5. There you go. So you now worked 5 trebles on this side, just like on that side. You've got this nice wave here, which forms a beautiful background to your flower petal. If I just bring it up from the front. But okay, now we're continuing on the edge back up here, and I just need to move everything because my mandala is getting bigger and bigger. It keeps getting a challenge to get it all in front of the camera. Okay, so now we're going to continue on this edge here, and we're basically going to do the same on this side as we did on the other side, which means we're going to skip the first 2 stitches. And this is important to realize which stitches are you skipping. As you see here, this is your first stitch, so you're going to skip that stitch, and then in the next stitch, oh no, sorry, you're skipping 2 stitches, sorry. So we're skipping 1, 2 stitches, and then in the 3rd stitch, you're going to work a single crochet. So this is exactly a mirror from the other side. And now we work a bobble stitch again. So in the next stitch, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like so, and take them all off. 5 single crochets on the next stitches. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets, and again a bobble. So it's 5 double crochets work together. 3, 4, and there we go, 5 legs, and take them all off. And again 5 single crochets on the next stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then a bobble. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take them all off. And now we should have 5 stitches left before we're at the next chain 1 space. You see I've got the stitch marker in the chain 1 again. So the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches. You see them there. I'm going to work in those 5 stitches. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is number 5. So you see that just before the chain space is number 5. And if you have a stitch too little or too many here, again, most probably it went wrong here somewhere, that you skipped too many or too few stitches here at the beginning. So now in the chain space, in the chain 1 space, we're going to make a bobble. So yarn over, and in that space I'm going to really punch myself next to this chain stitch marker. So I really want to be in that space. There we go. Now I'm in the same space as the stitch marker. So now I'm going to remove it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and there we go, 5, and take them all off. And this bobble is exactly the same as the very first bobble that we just made. So this entire repeat with all the bobbles and this wave here and the next bobbles, you're going to do this all the way around, and then close with a slip stitch on your first, on the top of this first bobble. And I'm going to use the same color in the next round, so I'm not going to cut off. So go all the way around, and then I will just show you how to do this last connection here before we go to round 52, which is already the last round of this part. To the end of round 51, just done the last bobble here. So now I still need to do 5 more single crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'll think, oh, but now I don't have another stitch to number 5, but you do, because if you look well, you see here just a bit hidden by the bobble that you started with, there is still 1 stitch left. So don't be fooled and don't forget this stitch. That's number 5. And now you're going to close to the top of this bobble. It's going to be this loop here. You're going to close with a slip stitch. And that brings us to the end of round 51. Round 52 continues where we just left off. I'm going to do a chain 1. Oops, chain 1. Now we're going to turn our work the other way. So just turn everything around. There we go. So now you have the right side. There we go. Sorry. Now you have the right side of your work facing you, and now we can continue again as normal. So in the space where we're currently in, oh wait, let me just get the other side here. I'm going to do a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet right here in the top of this bobble. So this is where we're currently in, right here in the top. I'm going to do a single crochet, chain 1, and a single crochet right here in the top of that bobble. Then we're going to work 21 single crochets down this edge, and remember there are 5 single crochets between the bobbles. So if it's easier for you, especially this first one can be hard to see, just count them back. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this here is your first single crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then number 5 here is just before the bobble. You see that space there, that is number 5, and then number 6 is on the bobble. So that's that loop, these 2 loops there. That's number 6. Oh wait, I've got 1 loop too many there. just want the stitch. There we go. I also had one of the loops from the bobble. So that's 6. And then again 5 between the bobbles. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 between, and then number 6 is on the bobble. So I've now done 12 single crochets. I'm going to do 21 in total. That's 18. Then 18 single crochets. That brings you to the last bobble here. And now you've got to do 3 more. And don't forget this single crochet that you see here. The single crochet you have between the trebles and the bobble. Don't forget that single crochet. It's an easy one to forget. So this is number 19, 20, and then 21. Here is on this second treble. You've got these 5 here, so on the second treble is number 21. This is a checkpoint for you. We're now going to work a back post double crochet in the 3rd extended double crochet from round 49. So remember, those were these what I've got in the pink here. So you're basically going to be catching this little pedal you have here. So we're going to do a double crochet around the 3rd. So around the 3rd post, do a back post double crochet. And just skip the next stitch. So that's going to be a treble. This 3rd treble we're going to skip, and then a single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to do this 2 more times because you want to catch all of these flower petals. So again in the 3rd, so that's actually quite easy because it's just the center one. To do a back post double crochet, then skip that center treble, or in this case a double treble, and then again work 4 single crochets. 1, 2, and then 3 and 4. And now again going to do a back post treble, 1, 2, around the 3rd, sorry, a back post double crochet, and then skip a treble up here, a double treble. That's going to be that one, and then again work 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we still need to do 1 back post double crochet around the center one. This is our last petal. So around the 3rd extended double crochet, work a back post double crochet. So now you've caught all of these flower petals here. You've connected them to your work. And now we're going to do again 21 single crochets on this side, exactly the same as on the other side. So on the next 21 stitches, do a single crochet. So that's 1, 2, a bit of fluff here, 2, 3 is again the single crochet that's between the bobble and the trebles. And then 4 is on the bobble. There we go, the bobble stitch itself. And then 5 between the bobbles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then number 6 is again on the bobble. And that's an easy rhythm for you to get into. it's 5 plus 1, and that way you don't accidentally forget a stitch. So remember, it's always 5 single crochets between the bobbles and then the single crochet that's actually on the bobble. 4. You can see that's the one just before, that's 5, and then number 6 is again on the bobble. And then one last repeat, 5 before, 1, 2, 3, 4, then number 5, and now you're at a point again. So on this, on the tip, you're going to of course do a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and let me just find that loop. There it is. So on the bobble stitch, oh no, see, I've got one loop too many. There we go. So on that bobble stitch, do a single crochet, chain 1, and a single crochet. And this corner is of course exactly the same as this corner. So again, going to do 21 single crochets and then catch this flower petal with these stitches here, and then do again 21 single crochets. You're going to go all the way around. I mean, come to the beginning, close with a slip stitch on your first single crochet. So skip the chain 1, but the single crochet. And I've just completed the last round, close with a slip stitch, and then you're done with part 7. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you for part 8.